Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Carrie Cancel. I am one of the chief engineers for Charlotte-Water on the planning and land development piece. Welcome to our One Water Capital Investment Plan Forum. We appreciate everybody here. We are excited to share some of the opportunities. It's not an exhaustive list, but some of our opportunities we've already identified coming up for this fiscal year. And just to talk through some of the outline for today, so our welcome and our aspirations, our objectives for today. We will have Chuck and myself talking about Charlotte-Water, our background, our CIP breakdown, as well as some of the opportunities. Again, those are highlights. And then Stormwater Services will come and discuss their background, their breakdown for their CIP, as well as opportunities. And then we have our business team with acquisition and compliance with their announcements, and then we'll open the floor for questions. So questions will happen at the very end, so if you can jot those down. At each of your stations, you also see a survey. We are going to ask that you fill that out. This is our first time really combining Stormwater and Charlotte-Water, so we want to improve every single time, so your input is valuable, even from the, hey, did we like the Panera bread? The coffee and danishes. So we're open to everything. But first, I do want to welcome one of our deputy directors, Mr. David Zerr.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. I don't have a lot to say. The people with the knowledge will be up here and speaking shortly. But what I do want to say is thank you, and that's a thank you to all of the Charlotte-Water, the Stormwater staff that goes into developing our capital plan. It is a huge year-round effort to identify what the community needs, how to take care of our existing infrastructure, plan for what is needed for generations to come, and do what's right for the community. And then also to match that, we have to have the money. And so to our business folks that help us figure out the appropriate rates and balance that with the community to get us the money to build the infrastructure. Thank you to all of our business folks, and also those that help us bridge the gap between we have a project and we want to reach out to you all and the procurement and getting folks on board. So, and I see Abby in the back of the room, thank you. And then the last thank you would be to the folks in this room, right? You are effectively our partners. We have the idea, we identify the need. We can't do it by ourselves, and we rely on you all, whether you're helping us to design something or you're helping us to actually build it. And you all are our partners, so I appreciate you coming here today to see what the opportunities are, what the needs are for the upcoming year, and how we can continue those partnerships. So I guess that would be it. A big thank you to everybody that has helped get us here today. And Carrie, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
All right. So thank you for those remarks, David. So some aspirations for today, of course, I've already talked about it, and you can see by the handouts, we want to share our upcoming infrastructure plans, specifically procurement announcements that we anticipate coming out this year. Again, this is not an exhaustive list of everything, but just to offer some highlights and some opportunities. We're hoping that we're going to foster a collaborative dialogue, which I was witness to as everybody shaking hands, giving some back pats, and talking about just life in general as well as projects, so appreciate that. And then we also want to expand our professional networks. And so maybe you don't know the person sitting next to you, maybe you don't know the person at the end of your aisle. If you want to take a moment at the end of this event and just stop and say hi, and you never know what kind of business opportunities are going to come with that. And so all of this is going to lead, hopefully, fingers crossed, to increased engagement and interest in our contract opportunities on the water and the wastewater and stormwater side. So presenters, you're going to see a lot of us today. We've got 8 presenters. Myself and Chuck Bliss are going to be talking for Charlotte-Water. Kate Labadorf, Matt Gustus, Logan Oliver are going to be speaking on behalf of Charlotte Stormwater Services. And then our acquisition and compliance team, led by Abby Dolan and Frederica Love, will also discuss some opportunities and help answer questions, as well as Crystal Robinson from our city procurement side with supplier administration. She's going to go over some helpful tips and tricks as well. So for Charlotte-Water, our mission is to consistently provide the highest quality water and wastewater services to our community. I'm sure most of you are aware that we are a regional provider. We service 2 states, 7 counties, as well as all of the towns and municipalities within the Mecklenburg County. We offer water and wastewater services. We're maintaining over 9,000 miles of pipe. We are servicing over 1 million customers a day. Our customer service team is interactive with assisting and maintaining over 325 different 323,000, water service connections. Our operations teams are pumping out potable water, over 117 million gallons a day on average for fiscal year 24, and we have our treatment plants, our wastewater treatment plants treating an average of 86 million gallons a day. So we are becoming a regional provider in that aspect and growing every day. We are, like David mentioned, we've got to think about our rates, and we are fiscally responsible. We are AAA rated, which helps our ratepayers and helps with the modeling. And then this one I always like sharing, especially with our younger generation, that a gallon of water just costs less than 3 cents. So that $3.50 bottle of water that you bought, you could save that and fill it up many, many times over for the cost of that, water out of the tap. So our CIP budget, our adopted budget for FY26, our operating budget is over $650 million. That includes $447 million devoted to capital projects and programs. And you can see on the left-hand side how that's broken down to the categories of projects and programs supporting the growth that we're seeing in our community, the rehab and replacement, so taking care of our current assets. Of course, with the changing regulatory environment, we've got to stay on top of that and address those issues, as well as working with our partners, our governmental partners like NCDOT, CDOT, and our towns, and supporting some of their public projects. I mentioned handouts, so Stormwater has their handouts, Charlotte-Water has some handouts, and so the Excel file that you have is going to list all of our projects and programs. You're going to see a CIP ID, that's just for our internal tracking to manage life cycle analyses, as well as the anticipated delivery method, a point of contact, which is our division manager level. It might be an announcement that comes that gets tied to the specific project manager, but on the CIP handout, it's just the division managers. And then we have our annual budget broken down by year for fiscal year 26 through 30. So moving into capital projects and programs and what opportunities we see coming up, we run the whole gambit. We've got RFQs for professional services, for design services. We've got hard bid construction activities, as well as AES on-call miscellaneous engineering services and subcontractor opportunities. So we'll start diving into some of our Charlotte-Water opportunities. This one is on the street right now. We have 2 construction contracts that will be managed by our Design and Construction Engineering Division. That contract is going to support our water and wastewater street main extension program. So we're looking at typically smaller size pipe going through established areas, but we are expanding miscellaneous support with this contract for other distribution system improvements or local capacity collection system improvements, as well as some minor projects associated with our treatment plant sites. And so the overall budget for those 2 contracts, we're anticipating around $15 million. With our new service installation advertisements, those are going to come out start of next calendar year. Those are 2 construction contracts that are managed by our Installation and Development Services Division. So if you're aware of Mr. Zach Pellicone, he will be overseeing that. And that is for, the scope of that is for smaller diameter water and sewer service connections. So think about our residential customers with that. The contracts are anticipated to last 2 years after notice to proceed, and we're estimating a value between $10 and $15 million for that. And then I will pass it over to Mr. Chuck Bliss.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? So we've got our pipeline rehab group headed up by Matt Bedford. He's here. We've got a number of opportunities, hard bids. We'll be back out at McAlpine doing more sewer rehab. in the coming year. And there's got water main replacements going on, sewer point repairs, and then a time and material contract for doing emergencies and other types of activity. And there are subcontractor opportunities that come along with those types of projects. Hopefully I'm hitting the right arrow. Oh, good, okay. And then on the professional services side, the rehab and replacement group's got a number of opportunities coming out related to design and also just managing some of those contracts. That's what that second bullet is there. And then leak detection services and sewer cleaning also. So in our continued regionalization, we're about to a few days away from turning on the Mount Holly pump station, and this is the Belmont pump station and force main project. It'll be coming out this next fiscal year. So building a new pump station over at the Belmont wastewater plant, force main, and then of course there's a large directional drill under the Catawba River that will be part of that project. So, and again, the subcontractor opportunities are quite numerous on those three contracts. Down at McAlpine, we're always having to renew facilities. So here we are on the biosolid side, doing repairs, upgrades. We've got in preparation basically for our nutrient harvesting project that'll be starting construction in THP in a year or two. So just getting our biosolids systems back up to par. I've got a sewer line up in Davidson that's coming along, so it'll hit the street hopefully this fall, and we'll get that under construction. At the McDowell wastewater plant, primary clarifiers and influent pump station rehab. Again, to just reinvesting in our facilities. At our elevated storage tanks, we've got generators, electrical improvements, instrumentation improvements at 8 of the elevated storage tanks. That'll be coming out. Franklin, we're going to be doing improvements to the service water side of the plant, which provides seal water for the pumps and other things. So that'll be coming out, and we're going to be pre-procuring some of the equipment for that project. Elevated storage tank improvements also. This is a professional engineering services to help us put a contract together to do some improvements at some of our existing elevated storage tanks. The Rosji group, headed up by Chuck Cowherd, is always doing has small contracts that go out for projects, and, well, 10,000 to 10 million, quite the range. So they're always coming out various times, so have a look out for all of those. Again, I've got a few things we'll be pre-purchasing for projects coming up, some butterfly valves, polymers for our water treatment plants, and again, the pumps and VFDs for the improvements at the Franklin Service Water Project. And I'll introduce Ms. Kate.
Thank you, Carrie and Chuck. I'm Kate Labrador. I'm the Chief Engineer for Stormwater Services. We're glad that you are here. Stormwater Services has been part of the One Water umbrella now for about 5 years. We're a proud partner with Charlotte-Mecklenburg. We are also part of a joint utility with Mecklenburg County Stormwater Services since 1993. The county handles all the FEMA streams within the city limits, and we handle pretty much everything else. Our mission is to safely convey storm drainage throughout the city and to also improve the surface water quality of the stormwater. So what we do, two things really, it just boils down to two things: surface water quality and storm drainage conveyance. And then here are some fast facts about 2024. We just finished our FY25 year in June 30th, so we don't have those numbers quite yet. But in '24, we managed over 900 projects. We have consistently, over the last 5 or more years, completed more than 250 projects a year. We don't see that slowing down at all. We see that continuing, if anything, increasing as we move forward. We installed over 34,000 feet of pipe in FY24 and 22,000 feet of stream improvements. One of the numbers I'm most proud of is the 13,000 feet of pipe rehabilitated. We are making a huge focus on asset management and also trying to maintain and getting full life out of our assets. And so it's been a good shift in our thinking from a reactive program to more of a proactive program, and we see that continuing into the future. Financially, 70 cents of the dollar was going to capital projects in FY24. We are AAA bonded. So steady Eddie, that's what I would call us, that we are pushing out work as fast as we can do it. We need y'all as partners. We're 250 plus staff strong, but without the consultants and the contractors, we can't accomplish what we need to accomplish. So I'm glad you're here. Our capital investment plan looking out over the next 5 years, we have a $425 million budget. It breaks down into most of it being in storm drainage conveyance, with $274 million in major projects, which Matt's going to explain in a little bit about what a major is versus a minor, and then $126 million in minor projects. And then from the surface water quality side of things, we've got $14 million earmarked for mitigation projects. And then streams and wetlands, we got a stream mitigation bank funded at $5 million, and then post-construction at $6 million. And with that, I'll turn it over to Matt.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see you. So as Katie said, my name is Matt Gustis. I'm the division manager for engineering design. This is Logan Oliver. He's the division manager for construction and utilities. And the two of us are responsible for implementing the capital improvement program and just ensuring that projects are identified, we move them along, and we can actually get them through the hopper constructed. So as Kate had mentioned, talking a little bit about what we do. I know she mentioned surface water quality, she mentioned infrastructure improvement. So you can kind of think about our projects in those two buckets. So I'm going to talk briefly about surface water quality. So that's one area that we focus on for improvements. And so as far as surface water quality projects, we do look at addressing multiple issues. Sediment is our largest contaminant in the city and in Mecklenburg County, as you've got a lot of eroding channels and incised streams. So we look at improving the streams. How can we stabilize, maybe do some stream restoration. There's also the old earthen embankments. You may hear of the old farm ponds that were put in a long time ago. They help to detain and clean the water, so there's definitely an interest in maintaining that infrastructure. So we also look at addressing deteriorated dams and spillways. And then there's other ways that we can enhance water quality, whether it's from preservation, stream restoration, wetland creation, those type of areas. That's where we like to focus on with surface water quality. And so those are just some photos and some of the projects that we do. I'd mentioned stream restoration, wetland enhancement, and also we do look at either improvement or creation of stormwater control measures with those projects. And then if we look at the second bucket of projects, if you're looking at infrastructure improvement, you can think about it as flood mitigation, improvement of existing infrastructure. So we do look at addressing our aging and failing infrastructure. We've got a lot of metal pipe that's been put in the ground over the years. As you're aware, metal pipe rusts out, it fails. We're looking at trying to replace a lot of that with concrete, addressing infrastructure failures, and also making sure that the infrastructure has the adequate capacity to mitigate for flooding of structures and roadways. So those are the areas that we focus on as far as infrastructure improvement. And digging into that a little bit more, I know Kate had mentioned rehabilitation. She mentioned replacement of existing infrastructure. There are situations where we need to replace what's in the ground, maybe because it's not large enough, or maybe it's not at the point where you could do some type of rehabilitation. A good bit of our work involves replacing infrastructure, but we also do a lot of rehabilitation as well that Kate had mentioned, and roughly about 30% of the improvements that we're installing have been rehabilitation, and that is one area that we've really put a broad focus on just because it's non-invasive. You can work inside the pipe. From the surface, there's really not a lot of impacts to the community. So we've utilized a lot of technologies. Cured in place pipe is the one that we predominantly use. We've used spin casting. We've done polyurethane injections, those types of things. I think the one point I want to get across is just having an understanding of rehabilitation techniques. We have NASCO certified staff on site. I know as we talk to staff that work with us, I think having an understanding of when we can do rehabilitation is very important, because I think we can definitely get our projects done a lot quicker and we can minimize impacts to the community that way. So as we're talking about the infrastructure improvements, there's really two types of projects. We have minor projects, we have major projects. To break it down as simple as I can, minor projects are smaller than major projects. That's one way to think about it. But if we want to get a little more into the specifics of that, minor projects are a little more targeted. We focus on a smaller area of the infrastructure. A lot of times you don't have to do a lot of upsizing, because once you upsize a pipe, you may have to carry it downstream. So we try to focus, have it a little more targeted, and we do those projects through our in-house design program, and we also utilize engineering consultants to help us with design. One thing that it differentiates this from a major project is that they are constructed through unspecified contracts, which are line items are bid up front, and then the projects are put together through those bids. So we don't have to go out for a specific bid for each project. We start roughly about 200 to 250 projects a year, and generally the cost is less than $500,000 for these types of projects. It can be as low as $20,000 to $30,000. It could be as high as that. And one thing I wanted to point out is, as we are working with professional services and consultants, you guys are going to be involved cradle to grave through all of these different phases, planning all the way through warranty. We're a team. We need to be successful together. We need you in order to complete these projects. So as we get involved, you guys are going to be working with us all the way through the life cycle of a project. And then talking about major projects, as I said, they are a little larger. They're more comprehensive improvements. Sometimes we find that we need to carry the improvements downstream as we're upsizing systems. We also do our surface water quality projects. They're considered major as well. We've done some design build stream restoration projects, but the bulk of the work that we do is like a design bid build environment for our major projects for storm drainage and surface water quality, which means it's going to be an individual project bid for each project that goes through. And then with our CIP, we start roughly about 5 to 7 a year, and those costs can be anywhere from $500,000 upwards of $20 million. And similar phases, you're going to be involved all the way through. The one differentiation is each project would go through an individual project bid phase versus the minors, the bids happen up front. I'm going to talk just briefly about design build, then I'm going to turn it over to Logan to talk about project delivery methods. So we've done some design build. We're still learning the process. So we've got two that we're currently focusing on right now. There is a need to continue with that, and we definitely would like to continue using the design build delivery. So as far as mainly from a surface water quality perspective, as we're looking at stream restoration projects, we are considering doing some additional design build in the future, and so that's going to involve working with owners reps and working collectively to kind of get those through. And so with the design build, it would be an individual contract, and the contract duration could be anywhere from 4 to 8 years, and then $5 to $10 million generally would be the contract and project cost. And then if you're looking at like a design bid build for the major projects, it would be one project per contract. Those could be anywhere from 6 months to 3 years. And then, as I said before, those projects can be anywhere from $500,000 upwards of $20 million. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Logan to talk about the remainder.
Thanks, Matt. Hey everyone, so my name's Logan Oliver. I'm the division manager for stormwater for construction and utilities. So kind of pick up where Matt left off, but we work really closely together for the capital program between construction and engineering, kind of just overlap quite a bit throughout. So some of these different types of delivery methods, I'll jump into kind of the collective packages. So these ones are interesting. There's probably 2 to 6 projects per contract. They're, I'd say, maybe more medium-sized projects. These ones you'll have actually where you can bid on this specific project. You'll have the set of plans. They'll just be packaged together. So a lot of contractors like that. They're usually about a 12-month period. They can kind of range from like $1 to $3 million. And then you can see the project cost kind of ranges from that like $200,000 to $750,000 project. So a little bit smaller than those bigger design, bid, build, major projects. Some of the other delivery methods we have are unspecified formal contracts. So these are kind of, as Matt mentioned, like the line item contracts, unit item contracts. You'll bid on the contract, and then projects get assigned after those minor contracts. They're usually about 20 to 30 projects per contract, maybe. Usually last about 24 months, so 2 years. They can be anywhere from like $4 to $6 million. And then they're definitely smaller types of projects, so $20,000 to maybe $500,000. And usually you'll have like a 2 to 3 crew requirement on these types of contracts where you'll have multiple crews working on different project sites throughout the year. And then one kind of other item we'd like to hit on is the unspecified informal. So these are targeted, solicited contracts. We'll usually do maybe, like, we'll get into this a little bit more, but 1 to 2 of these a year. They usually have about 10 to 15 projects per the contract, about a year long. And they're kind of up to about $200,000 in contract costs. And they're definitely smaller projects. You can see anywhere from maybe even $1,000 up to $20,000. I'll touch a little bit on some construction aspects for the design bid build projects, but it is a low bid, lowest responsive bidder. Definitely projects can address the aging infrastructure. Flood mitigation, that's really what a lot of these are. So you'll see a lot of upsizing, bigger projects, many different types. They vary on the size too. So large box culverts, large culverts. A lot of them are linear type of projects too. So a lot of pipe being installed. Mostly it's the reinforced concrete pipe you'll see. With a lot of the large non-standard drainage structures and end walls that are associated with these storm drainage projects. A lot of active shoring typically we see too. So, and then with the surface water quality projects, you see a lot of linear stream work, stream structures, grading, and sometimes you can actually see these things kind of intermingle together a little bit. Well, you'll see the infrastructure work and some stream work associated with different major projects. And then just one thing to keep an eye out for too, we do sort of have our own special provisions related to storm drainage improvement projects. So if you are a consultant or contractor, a lot of them are on the city website, these special provisions. It's really good to know those and know what the measurement and payment are, what the descriptions are for this type of work and all those types of things. So, and then just to highlight the collective packages again, they're sort of the same as the design bid build, except that they're just kind of grouped together and bid as one construction contract. To highlight the unspecified formal ones, again, the contracts are just the low bid. You bid on those typical unit items and quantities, and then the projects are assigned to the contract after bid. Just to highlight, these are kind of some photos. I mean, you'll have a lot of grading, some landscaping, pipe collars. We actually do a decent amount of water and sewer work as part of these projects. It's smaller work, a smaller amount and quantity and smaller size. So you might see like 6 to 8 inch water and sewer, just kind of relocating or just installing new pipe in the same trench. We also have a lot of concrete sidewalk, curb, a lot of foundation protection, smaller to medium size of that RCP. And then you'll see a lot of the drainage structures, NCDOT structures installed. And then kind of getting into that, we do a lot of joint repair, cure in place pipelining, things like that. There's a lot of construction challenges, so I just wanted to maybe highlight a few, some things that we deal with a lot, but we do work in some areas with a lot of tight spaces, so between houses, between different structures, you might have a limited amount of easement or whatever it may be, so there's a lot of means and methods and challenges that contractors can face. With stormwater, one of the big things on almost every project you'll see is conveyance and pump around operations with the storm flow, so that can be a typical challenge. And then I think in every project in the city of Charlotte, you're going to run into some of these private utility issues and working around private utilities such as gas, power, and communications. So just something to keep an eye out for. And just to highlight some of the subcontracting opportunities, there's lots of subcontracting opportunities. Some of the typical ones may be fencing, foundation protection, cure in place pipeliner. We'll have that pipe cleaning, the joint injection, asphalt, concrete work, masonry, a lot of hauling, traffic control, and then, clearing, grubbing, and tree removal. I think, Matt, do you want to jump in on this one?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Let Matt take it.
All right, bringing this one home here. So talking about opportunities, and I know that's why we wanted to kind of bring everybody here, just to make sure you guys are aware of what we have out there. We do have a handout. It looks like everyone grabbed one. It's a one sheet, 11 by 17. It's got a map on one side. On the other side, it has some information about the contracts, potential contracts we utilize, a list of projects. One thing I just want to say, I wanted you guys to leave with this. This map shows active projects. The small dots are the minor projects. The polygons, the green polygons, are the major projects. And then we've got FY26 potential projects out there. I know Kate had mentioned we have about 900 active projects at any given time. One thing I just want you guys to realize is that we got a lot of work. The community has a lot of needs. We can't do this without you. We have a steady stream of revenue, and coming together and working through all this, we need to do this to be successful. So we got a lot out there, and we definitely hope that a lot of you guys will be interested in reaching out and getting some contracts with us. So I'm going to talk a little bit about professional services here, and as far as the contracts that we utilize and what potential opportunities are coming up. If you look at the major and minor infrastructure improvement projects, we do have a need for an RFQ that's probably going to be going out sometime this fall. And generally, we do it every 2 years. We recognize it's a lot of work to do it on an annual basis. Usually, we select for 2 years. So we've got a need for roughly about 5 projects within 10 projects essentially over the next 2 years. And we're going to be doing an RFQ. For those types of projects, we're going to be selecting multiple consultants. Those are project-specific contracts, as I had mentioned previously. And then as far as the minor projects, those contracts last typically from 3 to 5 years. And those, we do have a need for a new selection. That's probably going to be early calendar year 2026. You may see something out there. And those are, we do select multiple consultants. There'd be multiple projects that they would be working on as well. Surface water quality projects, similar to the major projects, there is going to be a need in FY27 to select some consultants to assist with those as well. Those contract lengths are usually 5 to 7 years. I spoke about design build. And we are looking into continuing design build for the stream restoration project. So that would consist of an owner's representative contract and then design build team. So it looks like in FY27, we are looking at selecting for one or more projects for that. And then finally, I just wanted to mention some support services contracts that we have. And with our in-house design program, we do have a need for structural services and utility locate services to support those types of projects. We recently went through a selection for that, so we're not going to need to do something for multiple years. And it looks like possibly FY29 when that would come up. But as far as the professional services, these are all the things that we have out there. So I just want to make sure everyone is aware, and that should be on the handout that you have. And turn it over to Logan.
Yeah, so a few more kind of professional and contract services we have, and I'll try to run through them, but we've got the on-call geotech and construction material testing. We'll usually have multiple consultants selected for that as an RFQ. We have utility coordination services, so that's usually utility coordinators that help coordinate with Duke, Piedmont, whoever it may be, to relocate and coordinate with these private utilities ahead of our projects. We have the on-call construction, admin, inspection, and management services, RFQ, with typically multiple consultants selected for that to help us out with construction, inspection, and admin. Have a site preparation and pre-construction utility relocation. So this is an RFP. Usually contractors will help with, maybe it's relocating fence or taking down some trees or whatever it may be to prep the site in advance of the utility relocations and construction contracts. We also have a channel cleaning services. Usually we'll have one selected for this RFP, but we do have one coming up this fiscal year to help us with that channel cleaning. And then we also have on-call SCM and vegetation management RFQ, and that should be coming up this fiscal year as well. You want me to jump into this one, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So, and this is more about the opportunities. We've already talked about these types of contracts, but just to show how many there might be advertised per year. We've got the major projects, maybe 5 to 10 per year, collective packages, 3 to 5 per year. You've got the formal unspecified, you've got and then to kind of break those down further, which maybe I didn't mention last time, but under these formal unspecified, there are multiple opportunities with the types. So there's also kind of more of our maintenance and repair unspecified contracts that are a little bit smaller in that contract value and focus more on that maintenance instead of the replacement and rehab. We also have kind of 1 to 2 a year of the unspecified grouting and lining contracts we'll do, and those are a little bit more specific to cured in place pipeliner and some joint injections and things like that. And then we also have the informal unspecified contracts. We'll try to do 1 or 2 of those a year. And I think that's it for stormwater. So, Abby? Thank you.
All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's nice to see so many faces here. You just heard some excellent presentations about some upcoming projects we're going to have, so I'm sure you are now wanting to find out where those projects are going to advertise. Before I share that with you, I want to start with some introductions. I'm Abby Dolan. I'm the Acquisition and Compliance Manager for Charlotte-Mecklenburg, and I have several of my team members here today. Acquisition and Compliance has numerous units. 2 of those groups are with us today, procurement and business diversity. And I know a lot of you have worked with them, but it will be great to put a face with the name. So I'm going to ask them to stand up when I call them. They're in the back corner over here. So first we have Adrian Lewis, our Deputy Acquisition and Compliance Manager. Catherine Osborne, who is a manager of construction and design procurements as well as stormwater procurements. We have 2 of our construction and design procurement officers here today, Jess Hunt and Laura Osborne. Of course, our fabulous business diversity manager, Frederica Love. And then our business diversity specialist, Jamila Buckner. All right. So the acquisition and compliance team is a one-water team, meaning whether you leave today interested in bidding a stormwater project or a Charlotte-Water project, or hopefully both, that procurement is going to run through this team. So I'm going to share some helpful information related to procurement. Then you'll hear from Frederica, and then our special guest from Supplier Administration, Crystal. The first site I want to share with you is our contracting opportunities site. I know everybody has a phone on them, so I have put QR codes on all of these sites. Feel free to pull out your phone and scan the code if you want to go to this site, bookmark it, save it for later. But this is a great site that has some helpful links on it. On this page, you can view contracting opportunities around the city. It also links you directly to our procurement portal. In the top right side of that page is a section that says Notify Me. So we send courtesy email notices whenever we advertise a new construction and engineering services solicitation. So I want to emphasize the word courtesy, and we don't send it for every procurement, and it's not every time we upload a new document to our site. But if you're interested in receiving those heads-up emails that basically say, hey, we just advertised this project, it's now on our site, feel free to put in your email address and subscribe to that list. Also on our site are information on our information security agreements. So before you bid a project with us, if it has sensitive information, you will have to fill out an information security agreement. These do expire every 5 years, so if you've signed one in the past, might be time to sign a new one. The list of vendors that have signed one is on our website, as well as a blank agreement. So if it's time to fill one out, you can go to our site and get it there. The next site I want to share with you is Early Bird. Early Bird is where we post upcoming project solicitations. So this is a great site to learn about things in advance. On this page, you can filter by department, you can filter by Charlotte-Water or Charlotte Stormwater Services, and you can see upcoming solicitations. My team posts them when we learn about them. So you might get a few weeks' notice, you might get a year's notice, but as soon as we learn about it, this is the site we put it on. So it's a great way to see what's coming up. On this page, you will see projects that are listed as in development. What that means is it's coming in the future. And if you see a project in development, there is a requirements box. You can click on that. It will take you to a new page where you can read about the project. We provide a brief project description and some other important information about it. If it's listed as inactive, that means it's currently advertised. And the last site I want to share with you is our procurement portal. Our procurement portal is run through a system called Bonfire, and Bonfire just changed its name to Una. But all those things mean the same thing. Procurement portal, Bonfire, Una. It's the same site. This is where we post our formal advertisements for projects. So go ahead, scan this code, save this site. When you're on this page, you can click in the header bar, click on department. That sorts the departments alphabetically, and that puts Charlotte-Water at the top of your list. So you can see everything we have out on the street. Note that for this site, Stormwater's opportunities are listed under Charlotte-Water. So click on Charlotte-Water, you'll see everything we've got. You do have to have an account to view documents, but accounts are free, and it's very easy to register for an account, so check that out. Our team is going to stick around if you have questions related to procurement. Please feel free to come visit one of us, and we'll be happy to help you. I'm going to turn it over to Frederica now.
Oh, okay, up and down, got it. Oh, good morning, everyone. My name is Frederica Love. I am the Charlotte-Water Business Diversity Lead. And what that means is that I work with the CBI office to oversee the CBI policy for Charlotte-Water and stormwater projects. So good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, thank you. So what is the CBI program? The CBI program is the City of Charlotte's citywide diversity and inclusion program that seeks to enhance M's, minority, W, women, and S, small business enterprises, or MWSB, participation on city contracts. And how was that done? Well, you saw earlier on other slides that some subcontracting opportunities have already been identified. So along with Jamila Buckner and myself, we review projects and determine if there's going to be a MWSBE goal set or a goal waiver. So city departments review their projects to determine subcontracting opportunities for that project, and will either set a goal or negotiate a goal on a contract-by-contract basis. So this will sound very familiar to a lot of you who have either bid on or submitted proposals for Charlotte-Water projects. So what is a City of Charlotte MWSBE? A City of Charlotte MWSBE is a certified, first they're certified, MBEs and WBEs are first certified at state level. So, and then once that happens with the North Carolina Historically Underutilized Business, they then are registered by the CBI office to become City of Charlotte MBEs and WBEs. And this is for throughout the 100 counties for North Carolina. So they don't have a geographical restriction. but this next one, the SBE does. SBEs are certified only by the CBI office, and they have a 13-county, as you see, combined statistical area. So they do have a geographical restriction. Where do you find your MWSBEs? Well, we try to make it as simple as possible at the charlotte.diversitycompliance.com website. And what you simply do is once you're there, you select vendor certification, then select search certified directory, go in and select your MWSBE certifications, and then simply begin your search. So the CBI office, and we always like to continue to put this out, the CBI office has teamed up with the Meriwether and Williams to offer the CBI Contractor Development Program. And what this does is it assists MWSBE firms that are interested in bidding on projects. So as stated here, to assist with MWSBE contractors with their contracting capacity, business growth, they've teamed up. And the other group that you may hear about, in addition to Meriwether and Williams, they have a subcontractor, the Wonder Group, to work along with them, and they are offering the contractor development program. So the program consists of 4 pillars, which are to assessment and technical assistance, bond readiness, education and training, and program partners. And it all starts with, and for those, any of you who have been to any of our pre-bids recently, you will hear this information multiple times, but it starts with, and can take as little as 5 minutes. They are assigned a CDM, or Contractor Development Manager, and once that is done, the MWSBE will let the CDM know that they are interested in bidding on a project, and they may be also eligible for contract-based financing and support. And it's low interest, and it's powered through the Carolina Small Business Fund. So that's something that we like to get out, that is currently being done by the CBI office, working along with Meriwether and Williams. And one other thing that I'd like to do before I pass the baton is that just to, if you would please, for the MWSBEs that are in attendance, if you would just hold up your hand, just to give an idea of those that are here. Thank you very much, and I am so glad to see you. Thank you for attending. I will now turn it over to Crystal Robinson.
Gotcha. Thank you. Good morning. I will not take up too much of you guys' time. I know you had a lot of information thrown at you this morning. My name is Crystal Robinson, and I'm with the Supplier Administration Department. And what we do is we onboard, you can say, all vendors for the city of Charlotte. So that includes Charlotte-Water, Stormwater, Aviation, all the vendors for the city of Charlotte. So the process to become a vendor is pretty simple. We require 2 documents, which is the supplier registration form and also a W-9 for your business. And what we'll do is process that form. We'll verify your business with the IRS, and once everything comes back good, we'll set you up in our system and send you back some procurement information as well as your supplier identification number. And so what I want to do now is just explain what we have coming up. Right now, the city is going through a transition to a new financial system. And with that new system called Workday, it allows vendors and suppliers to have access to their information within the system. So a good thing about it is suppliers, once you're registered with the city, you'll be able to access your information in Workday. That includes going in to update banking information, update your commodity codes, which identifies your business with the city. You can update, like I said, contact information. You can also access your purchase orders that are issued to your company. You can, from those purchase orders, create invoices, so you wouldn't have to do that if you chose to. And those invoices will go straight to our accounting department for processing. So that's a good benefit, I think, that will come with Workday. So Workday right now is scheduled to go live July 21st. And July 21st, you'll be able to go to our site, and our webpage is Doing Business with the City of Charlotte. So if you Google that, you will be able to go to the supplier webpage. From that page, you can access the registration form, and you'll be able to become a vendor. That form will come directly to our department for processing, and you'll receive an email with information once it's been processed. Another thing, let's see. So benefits Workday, I've covered that. I do want to share with you, this right here is the guide that you'll receive after the 21st. When you get registered, you'll receive the email back confirming your registration, and we'll include this guide with it so that you'll have information on how to access Workday and navigate the system. And it'll show you, it'll walk you through going through, this is the registration page. You'll also be able to go scroll down and access, this is where you will access your supplier portal. There's the home page there, and it'll walk you through navigating the system. There's where you'll be able to access purchase orders. So I think it's a great benefit because it gives the supplier more control and access to their information within the city. And then I'll show you the registration form, what it looks like. So this is the supplier registration form here. This is the document that we would need filled out once you decide to get registered. And then at the bottom of this form, where it's highlighted in yellow, is the information that we would need to grant you access to the Workday site. Okay. And then just to give you a few tips about the portal. So the supplier portal access is completely optional. You do not have to choose to go through accessing your purchase orders in Workday, submitting invoices through Workday. You don't have to do that at all. It's completely optional. You can continue sending invoices to our COCAP department. You can continue receiving purchase orders via email if you like. Workday portal is completely optional. If you do decide to go and take advantage of the Workday portal, your business can have multiple accesses to the portal. So if you have multiple team members that you'd like to have access to the portal to be able to do different functions, you can have as many as you like. And any business structure changes, we just ask that you just notify us immediately. If your business goes from an LLC to an incorporation, we'll just need that confirmation from the IRS along with the new W-9 to update you in our system. That information will be able to be submitted via Workday. So that's another benefit. If you choose to submit it directly to our department, you can do that as well via email. Another tip is to update supplier forms and required documents every 3 years to remain compliant. So we do like to have vendor contact information and new W-9s at least every 3 years. Always maintain current contact information. That's about the most important thing most important tip I can give you. Not being able to contact a supplier when we need to verify information or update information is really important. And consistency is important. We see a lot of times we get vendor information on a registration form, but the invoice comes in as completely different address, completely different remittance information. So we ask that you just be consistent and update information as it needs to be updated. I've gave you our contact information, which is our email and phone number, and I've also listed my email as well. If you have any questions or if you think of anything you want to ask afterwards, feel free. And I'll be in the back if you have any questions for me afterwards. All right, and that is all I have. I'll turn it over to Kate to wrap it up. I don't know if you want me to get rid of that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so the home run stretch. We've pretty much covered everything. Thank you for attending. All of this information will be uploaded onto our Capitol websites, including a recording of this meeting. Please take a moment to fill out the survey. You can leave it where you're sitting, or you can put it back on the table in the middle. No one's allowed to leave until all the pastry and coffee is eaten. And then if I can ask all the presenters to come back up, we'll open it up for general questions. And then please, we scheduled it for an hour and a half, and we've intentionally stopped really much at the hour point. Please use this as a networking opportunity to meet other consultants, other contractors, city staff. We will be here at least until 11 o'clock, if not later, since if y'all are slow coffee drinkers, it might be noon or so. But take this opportunity. That's why we did it in person. And it's a team. We want to be a team with you. We want to support y'all. We want y'all to support us and to be successful both for Charlotte-Water and Stormwater. So thank you. And questions? We did such a good job, there's not any. Right? Anything? Y'all are a quiet group. There you go, Steve. All right.
What can your consultants do better?
What can they do better? Ooh.
That's a loaded question, Steve. Are we talking about anybody in particular? I don't know. I think hopefully this is the first step to, to reach out. I think it's just understanding, what each of us do. We try to be open and transparent with our projects and make sure everyone's aware of, the special skill sets we need moving forward. I think opening the avenues of communication, if things look like they're falling apart, get to know the project manager, talk to them. And one thing I do say is, we need to be accountable to each other as much as we say, hey, we have a deadline, you guys need to meet it. I constantly tell my staff, hey, we need to make sure we're being accountable to the people that we're working as well. We're a team. So I think it's just making sure that we're having a communication and we understand what we need from each other. That's all I can say there. I don't know if that answers your question.
Thank you.
I'd like to add just from a Charlotte-Water perspective. So I think, just like Matt mentioned, communication is definitely important, but also recognizing that all of our projects have a ripple effect, whether they are impacting the residents that we're supporting, or we're eventually impacting our operations teams, we're impacting our procurement teams. Like, it's not just blinders on a project. There's things that happen, there's things that we have to balance with how do we manage this, and maintaining flexibility, looking out for our ratepayers, making sure we're getting the best product possible, trying to balance the economic development, the regulatory restrictions, the rates, and everything else. So, yep.
Yeah, it's in the back.
Good morning, Linda Ledsey with UC Research. I have a couple questions. My first one, will this presentation be available on the website?
Yes, the recording will be uploaded on both the Charlotte-Water and on the Stormwater websites.
Okay. And then my second question is for Ms. Frederica Love. Hi, Frederica. With the question, with some of the newer, larger projects coming out for Charlotte-Water, will the SDE unlimited package get goals?
Not sure yet, because what we were experiencing right now, we will have some that are in WE and some that are in WSE, and that is simply again CBI. The CBI office's designation. So they've been making that decision, and we've been following it.
Okay.
So hopefully it will be based on some consistency there, but I can take your question and add that to the CBI office as well.
Thank you so much.
Raj.
All right, well, I think that's all the general questions, but we are available if you have any individual questions you want to ask. And please do hang out, drink some coffee, eat some pastries, because I don't need them. Thank y'all.
Thank you, everybody.